start my timer here too. Okay, the first one, it says Kelvin is at his house located at 3, 4 on a coordinate plane and walks to a store located at 1, 0. The store is exactly halfway between Kelvin's house and Mitch's house. To the nearest tenth, what is the distance between Kelvin and Mitch's house? So if I find the distance between Kelvin's house and the store, I can double that distance to find the distance between Kelvin and Mitch's house. So the distance between 2 points, I'm going to use the distance formula right here. So I'm going to quickly write that down. Distance formula is square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then for the coordinates, x1, y1, x2, y2. And it's important that you label them because otherwise plugging it into the equation gets confusing. So then here, 1 minus 3 squared plus, and I'm plugging it in, 0 minus 4 squared. Negative 2 squared would be 4 plus 16. I get square root of 20. Square root of 20 is 4.47. And remember, that's just to the halfway point, so we have to multiply that by 2 to get the total distance. So in the calculator, I'm just multiplying this number by 2, and I get 8.9. So the answer is 8.9. This would be miles to, I don't know, 8.9 something, probably miles. Okay, next one. A circular sidewalk is being constructed around the perimeter of a local park. A brick pathway will be added through the diameter of the circle as shown, and a tree will be planted in the center of the circle. What is the x-coordinate where the tree will be planted? So the center of the circle, right here it looks like. You might be able to just visually do it, but midpoint is how you'd actually find that center. We can find the midpoint between these 2 points. The equation for midpoint on here, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. I know the first two are kind of long, but the other ones are shorter, so. Okay, so our two coordinates right here, -1, 4, and 9, 10. B, 4, and 7 are the coordinates of that midpoint. And then it just asks for the x coordinate, so that would be this. So the answer is just 4. Okay. Next one, in the figure below, lines K, M, and N are parallel. So these are all parallel. It says, what is the sum of angle 1 and angle 2? So it shows us 50 degrees. Angle 1 would then be 50 degrees because alternate interior angles are equal. So this would be 50 degrees. And then for measure of angle 2 right here, these two are consecutive interiors, so they would be supplementary. So we could do 180 minus 150 is 30 degrees. So measure of angle 2 is 30 degrees. And then it says the sum of measure 1 and 2, so that would be 80 degrees is our answer. Okay, I'm still a little bit. Okay, if you miss something, I can go back at the end. I'm just going to keep moving. Okay, I'll go down in a second. Okay. What regular polygon has an exterior angle that measures 60 degrees? So here's the thing. Exterior angles equal 360. Like they always add to 360 degrees. So we can take 360 degrees divided by each exterior angle and figure out how many sides this shape has. So 360 divided by 60 is 6, so that means 6 angles or sides of that shape, and a shape with 6 sides is a hexagon. And regular means that all the sides and angles are the same. What is the equation of the circle shown below? So equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, hk being the center and r being the radius. So for this circle, I need to determine the center, which it looks like the center is right here. So the center is at -3, 0. And the radius, it looks like the radius is 3 units. So the equation would be x plus 3 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 3 squared. So x plus 3 squared plus y squared equals 9. And that's what I'm looking for over here. Okay, the next one, a solid glass sphere like this, with a radius of 30 centimeters. What is the volume to the nearest whole number of this sphere? So volume of a sphere, you would look at the reference sheet to draw it. Let's see. Sphere volume right here, 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi 30 cubed. So in a calculator, you have to follow order of operations. You have to do the 30 cubed first. 30 raised to the third power, 27,000. So in the calculator, I'm going to do 4 divided by 3 times pi times 27,000. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 3 times pi times 27,000. And that's my answer. It says to round to the nearest whole number. So this is my answer. The reason why this is a little bit off is because they probably used 3.14, but we're good. Just choose the closest one. Okay, so 6 questions, 8 minutes. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm going to keep going. Number 7. You are trying to prove that quadrilateral EFGH is a square. You have already proven that all 4 sides are congruent. Which statement, if true, would prove that EFGH is a square? Okay, well, with a square, the diagonals are congruent and they're perpendicular, so I'm probably looking for something like that. It says you already know all the sides are equal. So diagonals are congruent. That is probably the correct answer. Opposite sides are congruent. It already said it proved that. Opposite angles congruent. And then the adjacent angles are supplementary. No, this is the only thing that would prove it's a square. The other things can happen in other shapes like parallelograms and stuff. Okay, next one. Polygon STUV is shown below. After the shape is reflected across the y-axis is right here. What are the coordinates of S prime? So here's point S. Over the y-axis, we're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the y-axis. So I'm going to count 5 units on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. So S prime would be at 5, -2. Next one, number 9. Okay, I'm back on track again. A rope is tied to the bottom of the hot air balloon as shown. The rope makes an angle of 35 degrees. It shows that in the picture. How far is the bottom of the balloon from the ground to the nearest foot? So we're trying to figure out this. For this one, we would use trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA. Let's see. So from this angle right here, we have opposite and hypotenuse. So we are going to use sine. So sine of 35 degrees is x over 75, opposite over hypotenuse. Then from here, to solve it, multiply both sides by 75. And then get 75 sine 35 is 43.01. So 43 feet. So it's to round to nearest foot. Okay, next one is the same kind of problem. Again, SOHCAHTOA. What is the height of the iceberg? So this is our x now. From this angle, we have opposite and adjacent. So that would be tan. So tan of 40 degrees equals x over 250. Then to solve this, I'm going to multiply both sides by 250. Calculator. 250 tan 40 equals 209.77. Nearest meter would be 210. Okay, next, number 11. We're right at 11 minutes. Cool. Below is the drawing of Jeff's yards. There's a circular fish pond. Near one corner, the diameter of the pond is 12. How many square feet of grass are necessary to cover everything except for the pond? Okay, so we're going to find the area of this trapezoid and then subtract the area of the pond to find the area of everything without the pond. This is a trapezoid. On the reference sheet, it does have the equation for trapezoid right here. So writing that down, area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height b1 plus b2. 60, base 1 and base 2, 70 plus 100. Half of 60 is 30. This adds to 170. 30 times 170 is 5,100. So the area of the trapezoid is this. Now I need to find the area of the circle. The area of the circle is pi r squared. The radius of the circle, diameter of the pond is 12, so the radius would be 6. So I get 36 pi, which is 113.097. That's the area of the circle. And then to find the area of this part without the pond, I'm going to take this and subtract that. So 5,100 minus 113.097 is 4986.9. So B. Okay, next one, what is the converse of this statement? Okay, so conditional is P, then Q. The converse is Q, then P. The inverse is not P, then not Q. And then contrapositive is not Q, then not P. It wants to know the converse. So that would be Q, then P. So it's not a, it's a stop sign if a road sign is red. This one. Okay, next one. The diameter of a tractor tire is 5 feet. Round to the nearest hundredth, how far will the tractor move when the wheel rotates once? So we're looking for a circumference. C equals pi times diameter. The diameter is 5 feet. 5 times pi, 15.71. And this one. And again, the difference here is probably because I used 3.14 instead of the pi button, which is fine. Okay, next. Have this contraption here. Gives you a bunch of information, but it also shows it visually. The measure of angle 1 is 110 degrees. Measure of angle 2, 105 degrees. What are the measures of 3 and 4? in the description here, it says that these are parallel. Alternate interior angles are equal, so that means angle 3 would be 105 and angle 4 would be 110. Alternate interior angles equal. This one. Okay, 15, what is the measure of angle E in the parallelogram below? In a parallelogram, the consecutive angles are equal to 180. Like these two added together equal 180. So we can do 180 minus 35 to get angle E. 180 minus 35 is 145 degrees. So angle E, 145. A meter stick is, this one's really popular on SATs too. Okay, it says a meter stick is held perpendicular to the ground and it forms a shadow that is 1.8 meters long. 1.8 meter shadow. And this is 1 meter because it's a meter stick. At the same time, a flagpole forms a shadow that is 7.2 meters long. How tall is the flagpole? Okay, so for this, we're going to set up a ratio. So we'll do meter stick to flagpole, 1 meter over x equals shadow to shadow, 1.8 over 7.2. And then use cross multiplication. So this times this, 1.8x equals 7.2. 1 times 7.2 is 7.2. Then divide by 1.8, and we get x equals 4. The flagpole is 4 meters tall. Next. 6 around 17 or just at 17 minutes? Okay, figure ABCD is a quadrilateral. What is the value of x? Quad angles equal 360 degrees. So we're going to use that to figure out what x is. So all of this added up, put it equal to 360. So we'll do 2x minus 5 plus 3x plus 80 plus x plus 15 equals 360 degrees. And then solve for x. So I'm going to combine like terms. 6x, combine this, this, and this. 95 minus 5 would be 90. Then minus 90. 6x equals 270 divided by 6. And x equals 45. Which theorem can be used to show that the two triangles below are congruent? So I'm looking for like either side angle side, side side side, angle side angle. Remember ASS isn't one. And is there any more? Oh, I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know. Okay. So here we have a matching side, matching angle, and then a matching side. So we have side angle side. And then angle, angle, angle is only for similar triangles. It can only prove triangles similar is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Next one, we have a sphere. The surface area of the sphere below is 4 pi. It's supposed to be r squared. 4 pi r squared is the surface area of a sphere. The radius were to be divided by 2. How would the surface area be affected? Okay, so let's say the radius of this is 4, and then you have a smaller sphere, and the radius is 2, half of that. What we're going to do is find the surface area of both and then see how it is affected. So 4 pi squared like that would be 16 times 4, which is 64. So here we have 64 pi for the surface area, and over here 4 pi r squared would be 16 pi, because that would be 4 times 4 is 16 pi. So how is the surface area affected? Well, 64 divided by 16 is 4. So this surface area is 4 times bigger, or this one's 4 times smaller. Surface area would be 4 times smaller. Okay, I'm almost done. No, wait, we're done. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay. This one right here, Jeff lives on Oak Street, Tom lives on Main Street. Okay, how much further to the nearest yard is it for Tom to walk down Main Street and turn on Oak Street? So for him to go here, than it is for him to shortcut through like the grass. So it wants to know how much further it is to go the long way. So the long way would be 62 plus 110, which would be 172 yards. And if you went the short way, we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So 62 squared plus 110 squared equals c squared. And 62 squared is 3844. 110 squared, 12,100. I already did these calculations, so I'm just writing them down. Square root of this, c equals 126.27. So that's this length. Then the difference, subtract, and it comes out to 45.7 yards shorter. So that'd be 8. Okay, last one. Comparing cylinders A and B have the same height. The radius of cylinder A is twice the radius of cylinder B. Okay, radius here, twice the radius of cylinder B. How does the volume of cylinder A compare to the volume of cylinder B? Okay, so let's say that this radius is 2 and this radius is 4. The volume of this, it is pi r squared times height. So area of the base times the height. It says it has the same height, so let's give the height as 5. 16 times 5 is 80 pi. And then over here, 4 times 5 times pi would be 20 pi. It looks like it's 4 times bigger, or this one's 4 times smaller. The volume of circle A has 4 times the volume of circle B. 80 divided by 20 equals 4. Okay, that's all. So go ahead and turn in your packet, and then I'll give it back to you the next time we do this.